Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Kevin Kollins Show, the week in review here for September 7th, 2012. I try to think a couple days ahead, Kevin, of what we're going to talk about, what we're going to recap. This week, however, it's pretty easy. Drew Peterson trial. The verdict came in yesterday, right around 3 o'clock, right here on this show, the Kevin Kollins Show, 3 to 6 every Monday through Friday on WJOL. And Kevin, Drew Peterson, guilty.
Yeah, it was an amazing scene down there. The throngs of people outside, just regular pedestrians that came down there to express their feelings, and for the most part, overwhelming support for Jim Glasgow, the state's attorney's office, on the guilty verdict. It was great. We saw the jurors give a press conference on Friday. We saw the press conferences from all the people involved in the trial. And by the way, if you want to hear any of that, we have them all in their entirety. We have them broken down into pieces, and you can check that out right here on the website where you got this video at.
And just going back to when that verdict was announced, the crowds of people cheering, but the press conferences, that was really the most telling thing. The defense giving their press conference, and defense attorney Joe Lopez at one point going as far to say, when the government's out to get you, there's nothing you're going to be able to do to stop him, almost insinuating that this was a conspiracy of sorts to get Drew Peterson. Yeah,
the conspiracy was there. Also, he made a comment, the defense made a comment about a lot of the people around there that were heckling them and jeering them when they were doing the press conference, that these people here basically don't have jobs and they need to get jobs. We got a lot of calls from listeners on that, and just didn't they just didn't like the defense's attitude they had about the whole trial. Although the jurors, they didn't see most of that, and they really didn't have a problem with the defense in what they did. They said they didn't have a problem, but they didn't see a lot of the stuff outside the courtroom. So it was crazy. Again, you can listen to any of this audio, from the press conferences, the entire coverage, right here. You can check it out on WJOL.com.
And then we had State's Attorney Jim Glasgow, who gave his statements to the media. It had been very brief in the past. This time when he talked to the media, though, we heard a level of candor, and he was far more candid than anything we had ever heard him say before. Very open and honest about his feelings towards Drew Peterson, calling him a thug, a bully with a badge, a coward. On WJOL, on Scott Slocum's morning show, he called him a misogynist. Some very candid comments from the state's attorney, and you could really hear the emotion in his voice. Joel Brodsky went so far as to say, Drew Peterson's defense attorney, that he was emotionally involved in the prosecution. Well, you could argue whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, because it was obvious he was emotionally involved.
He was, and that was the thing that I noticed the most, too, about Jim Glasgow, is yes, the emotions were there. He felt, I believe, that he did this for Kathleen Savio's family and Stacey Peterson's family, that he took an abuser and a murderer off the street and he got them what little justice there is for them. And it was an outcome that the prosecution was very happy about, just the fact that they got this resolution. But again, a woman was murdered, and there's never any happiness about that.
He made it perfectly clear in his press conference, this was not about me, this was not about Drew Peterson, this was not about my prosecution team, this was not about the defense team, this wasn't even about the jury, this was about the greater good.
Yeah, it was. Great press conferences. Again, check out all the audio right here on WJOL.com. We've got everything up for you to check out and listen to what you like, and love to get your feelings on it.
And you can listen to the Kevin Kollins Show every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 here on 1340 WJOL, or online on WJOL.com, the way you're watching this video right now. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next Friday.